The room fell completely silent the moment my stepmother smiled and said, "You won't be getting a single penny." She thought she'd already won. But seconds later, the lawyer looked at her, couldn't hold back his laughter, and pulled out one final envelope my father had secretly prepared. What happened next destroyed every plan she had spent years building. Stay until the end, because this emotional family story takes a shocking turn that nobody in that room expected. The day my father passed away felt like the end of everything I had ever known. He wasn't just my dad, he was my best friend, my mentor, and the one person who always believed in me. Losing him left a hole that nothing could ever fill. His funeral was quiet. Friends, relatives, and neighbors gathered to pay their respects. Standing beside the casket was my stepmother, Victoria. She cried in front of everyone, accepted sympathy from every guest, and acted like the perfect grieving wife. But I knew her better than anyone. She had married my father only 6 years earlier. At first, she was kind, thoughtful, and supportive. But once she realized how successful my father had become, everything changed. Slowly, she pushed me away from family dinners, holidays, and even private conversations with Dad. Whenever I visited, she always found a reason to make me leave early. She wanted my father all to herself. Still, Dad never stopped calling me. Every Sunday, we met for breakfast without telling anyone. During those breakfasts, he would often smile and say, "Son, not everything is what it seems. Trust me." I never understood what he meant. 2 weeks after the funeral, everyone gathered at the lawyer's office for the reading of Dad's will. Victoria walked into the room wearing an expensive black dress, carrying herself like she already owned everything. She smiled at me before taking her seat. "I hope you're prepared," she whispered. The lawyer, Mr. Harrison, opened a thick folder and began reading. Several personal belongings were left to friends and charities. Then came the part everyone had been waiting for. Victoria interrupted before the lawyer could continue. She looked directly at me with a smug grin. "My husband made the right decision. You're not receiving anything. Everything belongs to me now." Some relatives nodded quietly, others looked uncomfortable. I felt my heart sink. Then something unexpected happened. Mr. Harrison slowly removed his glasses. He looked at Victoria, and suddenly, he laughed. Not loudly. He laughed. Not loudly. Just enough for everyone in the room to notice. Victoria's smile disappeared. "What exactly is so funny?" she demanded. The lawyer calmly reached into another folder. "I'm sorry, Mrs. Victoria," he said. "You stopped me before I finished reading." The room became completely silent. He held up another sealed envelope. "This document was delivered personally by your husband 3 months before his death. It was to be opened only if anyone attempted to misrepresent the contents of his will." Victoria's face turned pale. Mr. Harrison broke the seal. Inside was a handwritten letter from my father. He wrote, "If you're hearing this, someone probably believes they have outsmarted everyone. But I planned for this day long ago." Everyone stared in disbelief. The lawyer continued reading. My father explained that the house, the business, there was nothing she could do. She stormed out of the office while everyone watched without saying a word. For the first time in years, I understood what Dad had meant during those Sunday breakfasts. He had seen everything. He knew exactly who could be trusted. Weeks later, I visited Dad's favorite fishing lake. I sat quietly on the old wooden dock, reading his final handwritten letter one more time. The last sentence brought tears to my eyes. "Real wealth isn't measured by what people inherit. It's measured by the character they reveal when they think nobody is watching." At that moment, I realized my father hadn't simply protected his money. He had protected his legacy, and that was worth far more than any inheritance. Greed can fool people into believing they've already won, but truth has a way of revealing itself when it matters most. My stepmother thought she was taking everything my father had built. Instead, she exposed her own intentions in front of everyone. My father's greatest gift wasn't his fortune. It was the lesson that honesty always outlasts deception.